Once again, it's graduation day at West Point, and the Corps gives its customary magnificent exhibition of precision marching. In the ranks for the first series of close order drills are the Point's bright football stars, Doc Blanchard, Mr. Inside of gridiron fame, and his fleet partner, Glenn Davis, Mr. Outside. Both march with the graduating class as they leave the ranks to await the review that will be held in their honor. There are 310 in the class of 1947, receiving the parting tribute of fellow West Pointers as they stride by. This is the 151st graduating class from the Military Academy during its distinguished history. But the color and pageantry never dims. On this occasion, 900 alumni of the Point, the greatest at any graduation, are on hand for the ceremonies. Men who brought glory to American arms at the four corners of the earth thrill again as members of the graduating class salute the Academy's colors. At the graduation exercises, some of the highest-ranking members of the armed forces are present, including General Eisenhower. Brigadier General Robert Montague presents the diploma to his son, Cadet Robert Montague, Jr., honor man of his class, as the cadets line up in order of their standing in the class. A chapter in West Point football history closes as Doc Blanchard receives his diploma from General Taylor, Superintendent of the Academy. The other football immortal, Glenn Davis, becomes Lieutenant Davis, and again the cheer power. In the hands of these young men lies America's defense. West Point has prepared them well. Above right field, an Army attack bomber gets set to test the latest in landing gear. The novel tractor-type gear will increase the usability of hundreds of airfields and permit air transportation of heavy aircraft into areas now considered unsafe because of inadequate landing facilities. The rubber belt withstands landing speeds up to 120. On a field like this, a plane equipped with conventional landing gear would very likely crack up. The Caterpillar gear makes for both efficiency and safety. In peace, it means dollars saved. In wartime, it would mean greater speed and mobility for our air forces. More than 200 others were injured when a tornado struck with savage fury near Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Parts of houses are literally wrapped around telephone poles, and the wreckage yields the bodies of tiny victims killed in their sleep. The twister leaves in its wake the inevitable tragedy of bereavement and homelessness. Families are torn apart, and even pets wait forlornly as homes are wrenched from their foundations. It's a scene of complete desolation. Men stand helpless before a force that levels all in its path. From once launched explosive-laden balloons. Today, all is peaceful and very polite as occupation troops interrogate natives who remember the war days and the lethal weapons devised to harass an enemy across the Pacific. The launching sites were well hidden. Hundreds of the balloons came down in Canada and the United States. Incendiaries and high explosive bombs caused some damage, but demolition squads were on constant alert. Most landed without exploding. The threat, however, persisted until the war's end, and only today we learn a secret long shrouded in wartime censorship. A desperate Nippon tried anything, but the balloon menace was foiled. Styles. Miami Beach shares the spotlight with Dame Fashion as the Miami Fashion Council shows the latest in beachwear. But for something really new and really appropriate, how about hand-painted bathing suits? Jimmy Rosen is the artist, the lucky artist I might add, and when he gets through with somebody's darling daughter, she's really in the swim. I don't know what Jimmy uses for bait, but I do know he's got a job most males will envy. The suits are expensive, they're definitely stylish, and oh yes, you can swim in them too.
One side, baseball. The Wild West is here in Yankee Stadium. Not baseball. Today it's rodeo time. Ken Maynard and Tarzan salute the thrill-hungry fans. And yes, this has its moments. When Bernice sways 130 feet above your heads, well, that's a home run of a different kind, and no time for an error. Up there, you've got to be on the ball every precious second. Bernice uses no net. Roundup time in Manhattan continues. Gregoresco is billed as the man who hangs himself. Hold on, here he goes. He was neck and neck with death, but he made it. Staying on board the Brahma steer is something like a merry-go-round. You stays on longer if you get the brass ring. And if you miss, well, off you go. Bronco riding like June is busting out all over and over. Many are the fancy ways you can fall off a horse. It's a toss-up which is the best way. As a finale, this one tops them all. A smashing double in the old ballpark.